Hello and welcome to DCP Live episode number 199, the Well Shit Deej episode.
That was last week.
Oh, you're right. My bad. No, that was the prequel. Yeah, that was last week was the prequel because we got the lore behind the Well Shit Deej. And now this is full Well Shit Deej.
This is the main event.
Yeah, the main event, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So, how's things, guys?
I think the highlight of my week was when Deej actually said, "Well, shit, Elliot."
Same.
Elliot's been doing these deep fakes of Deej's face on movies, and it's
they're amazing.
So good.
Spider-Man today. It was great.
The Spider-Man one was hilarious.
Iron Man. He's doing all the superheroes.
Yeah, I love it.
It's amazing.
Absolutely love it. So you guys get any mystery seeds in the mail?
No, not yet.
I'm waiting.
They're coming.
Damn.
I know they're coming.
I think that's how you get cyberpunk is you plant the seed and then cyberpunk grows from
You
the tree.
grow a cyborg in your backyard?
Mm-hmm.
What if you're in an apartment? How are you going to grow a cyborg?
Better put it in a pot.
They have urban gardens and
Yes, community gardens. Nailed it. Yeah. Yeah.
Do they know what the seeds are like? What kind of seeds they are? If anybody doesn't know, like people are getting like random
Let's give
seeds
a
in the mail,
background.
like from China. Like and it's just like kind of like a random thing that's happening right now. Like I mean, like people are interested. Like where are these coming from? They're coming from China apparently. And like the Wall Street Journal is like looking into it, and CNN's looking into it. It's like it's a really weird thing that's happening all of a sudden.
Maybe China's just concerned about our agriculture economy. Yeah,
Could be.
Like you guys have it rough. We're just getting you started with some seeds, and
It's not a bad idea. Get everyone in America started with their own little garden, grow some tomatoes and some potatoes.
Potatoes from You think that's from
It's
China?
not a bad idea. Maybe they're helping out.
all the dead house plants in my house would probably disagree with my ability to start farming my own food anytime soon. But
If you plant them, it automatically logs you into TikTok.
Oh, it's the TikTok shrub.
so many national security threats. TikTok, seeds.
And now your plants.
Yeah.
Your garden's gonna be under, some sort of NSA thing.
Next thing you know, the Mongolians attack.
Then you become the ghost. So what happened in Destiny this week?
How Tree Watch 2020.
Tree Watch is that what it is?
Tree Watch did not pan out. I think it moved a little bit a week ago, like 2 weeks ago. I don't think it moved at all this week. So this is a little harder to keep track of than the dots and the bunkers because those would always move no matter what.
Right.
Yeah.
So now I have to do this like 50-minute mission to go and look at the tree because you can't get to it any other way. And then I like painstakingly compare screenshots and I'm like, no, I didn't move. And that's the whole weekly update.
Huh.
And then just reading the lore. That's about it.
Do you think because of the delay that they're gonna like buffer extra weeks in this? Like there's now gonna be duplicate weeks of progress?
That is what I'm concerned about because something like the evacuation quest seems very much tied to like that's ending when the planets are gone.
Yeah.
So I feel like that has to be delayed to a certain point or else it's going to happen like September and then we're going to have no new stuff coming and then the old stuff dead. So it's going to be like 2 planets for all of Destiny, which I can't see them doing that.
Or they just nuke the planets every week over and over until the new DLC comes out.
They're like, we heard last time we had a live event.
Yeah. Every week the pyramids come and kill us and then we have to find a way to save them and we never can.
Oh man, some Groundhog Day Destiny stuff right there.
True.
Yeah.
Pretty wild.
So I played Destiny 1.
Yeah, you did. You
How
had
was
your
that?
birthday stream
I
and you
did.
played Destiny 1.
And
How was it
We
going
did.
back
We
to
played
Destiny
Destiny
1?
1.
And happy birthday, Watts.
Thank you. We played Rift, of course, because Rift is not a thing in Destiny 2, so you have to go play Rift.
Mm-hmm.
And it's definitely fun. I think so when you're playing in private matches, everyone's kind of messing around with all the old guns. They're using, all the silly things that maybe weren't as annoying. But as soon as people start putting on sidearms and sticky nades, everyone starts getting pissed. everyone's upset about it. So it's really funny to play Destiny 1 and you'll see people come in and they're like, oh, Destiny 1's so much better. But as soon as people start using the stuff that we were left with, that was the meta at the end of D1, people hate it.
Icebreaker sidearm.
I honestly forgot sidearms existed in Destiny 1. That just occurred to me. I know Dreg's Promise. That's the only one I can even think of.
Well, the meta at the end was No Land Beyond with a sidearm, so you could always snipe and you could always have your sidearm, and you'd have sticky nades. So that was what people were dealing with at the end. I mean,
the sticky nade thing was the worst of the bunch, I thought.
Yeah, sticky nades were.
Yeah, so stickies in D1 were one-hit kills and also had obnoxious tracking. Like
they did, yes,
obnoxious doing 90 degree turn.
I don't want to kill anymore.
Yeah, and that made it really bad because then you could just be like, thwink, and it's like, oh, one hit kill.
And you hear the sound when it attaches. It goes, beep, beep, beep.
That looks like a warlock throw.
That was a warlock throw.
That was a warlock throw. D1, like, there's a lot of fun parts about it. You know, looking at all the skill trees again was fun. You can choose to have different stuff. I forgot that blade dancers can go invisible when they pop their super.
Yeah,
completely forgot about that. Or they were the ones that went invisible in general, right? Not Night Stalkers, which is obviously it's totally different now. There's some guns that are really fun. I would say that the Palindrome as a hand cannon still feels better than a lot of D2 hand cannons.
Why is that?
It's just really consistent. Like it just hits where you're shooting. So I don't know if it just has more aim assist or probably aim assist. But it's it's just really, really accurate. But no mantling. Tough times, especially for warlocks.
How many times did you try to dodge?
Oh, well, I was using Night Stalker, which plays basically the same as a D2 hunter. But yeah, it is really weird. I went to Blade Dancer because obviously we don't have Blade Dancer. So I went to Blade Dancer and you get to use Blink, which is something we don't have either. But then I was just trying to dodge all the time and I couldn't because for those who haven't played D1, it was just Night Stalkers that could choose in the skill tree to have dodge. It wasn't a thing that everyone had. So
what's the cooldown on it too? Like 3 seconds or something like that?
Like no cooldown.
Yeah, it's very little.
Nothing.
Yeah, so, but you don't reload your weapons.
It didn't reload, but it was just movement, right? Still.
Yeah, very powerful.
It would be fun is to boot up an Xbox 360 or a PS3. And play because that got left behind when Rise of Iron released.
Are those servers still up even for that?
I don't know. I haven't heard anything about them going down.
No, I think you can go in. Yeah,
I can't even get into D1 because I have some error where I have to like unlink my Bungie account from something before it'll even.
This is a really weird bug. For anyone who does want to go back and play some D1, if you have your Twitch account linked to your Bungie account, it just doesn't work for some reason. You load up D1 and it's just like nope, error codes. But then as soon as you then as soon as you unlink, it just works right away. So luckily with the Twitch one, you can just link and unlink whatever you want. It's really easy, so it's not a huge problem to unlink and go play for a bit.
How old was the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One when Rise of Iron came out?
So that was 2013 they came out. And then Destiny 2014.
Consoles. So
it was
2016,
2016?
Yeah, when it came out.
3-4
I wonder, what I'm trying to think of is, like, I'm trying to think backwards into when do you think that support for the PS4 and the Xbox One will go away for Destiny 2?
Well, again, I don't think it's gone away for Xbox 360 and the PS3 yet, so I think it's going to be a long time.
They stopped making new content for
it. Content. Okay, I got you. Yeah.
I want to say Witch Queen. That might be a little early, but I would kind of hope sooner rather than later. I mean, for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
It'll probably depend on metrics too, right? Like if they have a significant portion of their population still on the old consoles, which is weird to say about the PS4 and the Xbox.
Well, now there's PC, and that wasn't a thing in Destiny 1, so that's a whole other bag.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what the adoption rate for the new consoles is going to be. You know, with the coronavirus around and like I just don't know like how willing people are going to be to.
We were talking before the show about all the stuff being sold out, so I think it's going to be high.
Yeah, maybe.
Gaming
because people are spending a lot of time at home too. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, gaming time and gaming spending is going way up. So I don't think they're gonna. I'm worried about there being shortages. Honestly, that's what I'm concerned about. So
I'm
if
definitely
it's not a high
pre-order.
number, it'll be because there's literally not any available. So especially with PlayStation, I think. But
true, people aren't going, on vacation. Maybe people who go on vacations, it's like you have all that money, because it's like, hey, let's buy a new console and play some games. So I would expect it to sell out quickly.
What do you think the new consoles are going to be priced at, Paul?
I wrote probably 6 articles about this. Like, as my thoughts about that. What I landed on in the end is I think Series X is going to be 500. I think everyone is scared of 600 as a price point after PS3 did that and bombed, even with inflation and whatever. Xbox, that's as competitive as they can be. I don't think they can go lower. PS5, the way they're talking about PS5, I don't think it can be 400 because they're already prepping it. Like, it's not just about like cost, it's about value, and that does not scream $400 again to me. Mm-hmm. So I think PS4 digital will be 450 or 500, probably 500, and then the disc might cost you an extra 50, so 550. So I think both of those are going to be pretty close to 500. The question mark is Xbox Lockhart, the lower spec thing that they literally haven't announced, even though it's like 3 months till release. It's supposed to be in August. That could be kind of crazy. They could do something wild with that and price it at like 300 to 400. Mm-hmm. And granted, it won't do all the same things, but it'll be the cheapest like new gen console on the market. And if they're trading like 4K or something that most people won't use, that could be good. But I mean, PS5 is just set to just dominate in terms of sales, I think. From
that Lockhart console is supposed to be a little more powerful than the current Xbox One X, right?
So that's why they phased it out essentially, is because they would have had like 5 different SKUs or something. So, and I've made a bunch of titles like calling the Series X the One X and vice versa. Like their naming scheme is driving me freaking crazy. And I know that's going to be
the Xbox 4. To be honest with you,
that would be much better. But there's probably going to be the Series S or something, or the Series A, and like that's going to be annoying. So. I'm not looking forward to that, but I would expect to hear about that in August. And I do find it weird.
They should have just called it Xbox Scarlet.
I do like Scarlet as a name.
That cool name.
Wasn't Scarlet the name of the X?
Oh yeah, it was. They should have called the Xbox One X.
They should have called something Scarlet.
Wait, what was red? Did Series X have a prototype name? I think
it was Scarlet. Oh, Series X. See, it's so confusing. Xbox 4. I'm telling you.
It's
just
so
refuse to call it the Series X.
Confusing.
Call it the Xbox 4.
Apparently that was Scorpio. So yeah, I think it was the Scarlet, or one of either one. Scorpio, Scarlet. Imagine buying an Xbox Scorpio. That'd be cool. I'd be like, hey, this feels fun. Instead of Xbox.
Not gonna forget that name.
Yeah, Series X, One X, Box One.
Wasn't that the name of a movie with Al Pacino as well? Scorpio.
Serpico.
You're right.
Close. Very close.
No film connoisseur over here, I see.
He played a narc, didn't
he? Yes. Okay, now I have to pretend like I know what it's about. So.
Oh my god. Hilarious, man. Yeah, the naming convention for Xbox really kills it for me. It's like, come on, Xbox, you got to stop with this being cute with your naming. The
360 was fine. It was a little weird, but it was fine. You can see where they're coming from.
For 360,
720.
Yeah,
720 would have been perfect.
The 360 no scopes. It was the 360 no scope machine. So
it sure was. But yeah, when they made the Xbox One, it just confused everybody because you can no longer talk about the original Xbox without saying original Xbox. You couldn't say like
Xbox One.
But Series X is worse. It's very heavy One X.
I don't even know how to abbreviate like Series X, like X.
It's the
SX.
Isn't it the sex box?
People are doing the SEX, like
yeah.
You got the sex? That's weird.
It's
the sex box.
Which console?
I don't know. I'm just gonna keep going with Xbox 4.
That does not do well on Google when you write that in a headline. So
No.
I can't do that.
Yeah, I get it.
It's just you. It's just one hit from Briar Googling.
Oh, look,
Xbox 4.
Yeah. And then on the flip side, you got Sony that's just staying the course. They're like, why rename something that's already great the way it is?
Yeah.
Just
I wondered if they'd change it and make it like PSV, like Roman numeral, just because the 5 looks like an S, but they didn't. So
Nope, there was like
I don't think it matters.
5.
Did they stick with the Spider-Man font for the PS5? No, they didn't.
They didn't even do that with
PS4.
PS4. It was only one console. It was PS3.
I can't remember.
Listen, Briar lives in retro land. He only knows the retro land.
Yeah. Yeah, Paul, you excited about the analog pocket?
No, I heard about it, but
you pre-ordering that baby?
No. I am not a retro gamer per se. But I don't have time. I would. I'm so busy with new stuff and new releases all the time that I don't. Yeah. I really don't have time to go back and play old stuff.
Briar's
like
face looks
very often.
devastated right there, by the way.
He's pretty heartbroken.
He plays more than enough for both of us. I'm
Single
sure.
tier.
Are you planning on getting both PS5 and Xbox Series X?
Yeah, if I can. I mean, if literally I'll have to. I might get a review unit on one of them if I can get a hold of Sony again. But with review units, you review them and then send them back. So I have to buy one either way. So
yeah, you can't.
I'll have to get both. Yeah,
you can't keep your personal information on there. Like it's just going to be temporary for a review unit.
Yeah, it's a whole process. It's like a review block for a month or whatever it is, and then they'll give you a couple games. I honestly don't even know if I'll get that, or if I do, I might give it to one of my colleagues or whatever. So I'm going to end up buying them either way. So I might as well just. Be launch day with everyone else.
For the most part, I've been saying I'm going to get a PS5 and then not pick up a Series X because I have a PC and I plan on upgrading my PC this year for gaming. But man, I'm getting more and more like, what if I'm disappointed that I don't have the Series X and Briar's voice is in the back of my head being like, what are you going to do when you're on the couch? Like damn you, Briar.
Because PlayStation 5, you could not play on the couch. We established.
Well, that's going to definitely be in the stream office for me. So it's going to be hooked up, and I'm definitely going to be playing some Destiny on the PS5. I'm looking forward to 60 FPS, no hacking trials.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see. I know everyone's like saying they're going to switch. I do wonder how many will actually permanently switch off of it. But
I think it depends on the FOV. If the FOV is the same and people go back and they're like, ooh, it's better, but it's not PC at all.
Yeah. I have a 4K TV behind me and my PC is hooked up to that and I play 60 FPS Destiny on that with a controller. So like as long as the field of view is like acceptable, I plan on playing it. Yeah. I'll probably lean toward the Xbox Series X though. If like assuming both versions take advantage of the power available to them, one would imagine that that'll be a better version.
Because
we'll have to wait for Digital Foundry to tell us, but
the 2 net teraflops on top of the 10 versus 12 teraflops.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't been paying attention to the teraflop numbers. I don't even know what a teraflop is.
It's a teraflop,
more
man.
of them
I'm gonna teraflop my mister right down in this pocket right here.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it though. Like I think it's going to be great, especially for a lot of. I mean, all the console gamers that are looking forward to upgrading and haven't got a PC yet. Like that is going to be mind blowing. That jump, I think, is going to blow a lot of people's minds and be like, "This is
the biggest thing." I think is the SSD. I don't think people are ready for the load times. Even above and beyond some PCs now. Like I think they're both going to be super fast. PS4 is like touting it as like the thing they have. I think they'll both be really fast, but I mean, I'm open for like 2-second, Destiny load times for planets and stuff. So I think that's
not having to wait to load into menus and stuff, like to do your inventory and stuff.
Yeah,
I had to buy an SSD for PS4 just for Destiny, just for menu lag, because that's how bad it got at PS4. It was unplayable. Yeah,
I always forget about that because I'm always thinking like the field of view. I'm definitely thinking frame rate, because obviously I talk about the frame rate a lot, but the field of view is the biggest thing. And then I remember the menu lag of swapping stuff and weapons. I always forget about that.
Especially any mission that has you like going through all the planets and go back to the tower, talk to this person, go over here, go over there. It must take so much longer on console with all the load times.
Yep.
Do you think Destiny 2 will support mouse and keyboard on the consoles? Because both consoles are going to support mouse and keyboard.
I think so. I would
probably. They might have to do some weird matchmaking stuff with sorting by input and all that, and I don't know. But
by the way, for the YouTube listeners, the timestamp is roughly around 20 minutes where you can start calling us elitists. So I just want to give you a little tip right there.
Do they still listen?
Just trying to help out, help out some commenters there on YouTube.
I mean, I'm excited more than just for Destiny. I'm excited for the new consoles because, like, with that level of power being like the new base level, that means just games can target like a higher level of performance, a higher level of visual fidelity. Just like all games, I think are just going to get better looking. Like we saw that Unreal Engine 5. Was it Unreal Engine 5 or 4? The demo?
5. Yeah.
5. I mean, that was insane looking. Ray tracing is going to become like standard across consoles and PCs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's going to be looking really great, which I think that's part of what highlights some of our concerns that we had on SideQuest talking about Halo Infinite and how it didn't feel like a generational leap, even though it's supposed to be a game that plays on current gen and next gen. But that's what we're looking for in these new consoles. We want to see load times, graphic fidelity, all this stuff get kicked up a notch because it's a whole new generation.
Especially when I'm dropping $500.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
Yeah. What's funny though is I know that I'm going to buy one and I feel like $500, man, that's a lot of money. But I also know I'm going to be buying a new graphics card and I know damn well that's going to cost double that. And I don't have the same reservation about it. Isn't that weird?
I do. I'm like, I want a 3080 to 3080 Ti, but I'm like, there's a limit for sure where I'm like, no, I'm not buying that.
Yeah.
There's rumors that 3080 Ti is going to have a new power connector, which maybe you mentioned maybe you'll be able to have an adapter for it.
Yeah.
But maybe you'll have to get a new power supply. But there's also rumors that it'll support PCI Gen 4. So maybe a new motherboard processor combination is in
So you need a new computer.
So you'll have to actually, I'll just build another 3900X. There we go.
And you guys were making fun of me for my cocaine distribution system. That's called forward thinking, my friends.
Oh my god. I don't think the 2080 Ti even soaks up the bandwidth of a PCIe 3 right now.
2080 Ti is just on the edge of it, but it does not.
Yeah.
But 3080 Ti, apparently, this is all rumors.
Yeah.
It's all rumors.
Briar's
apparently
rumor.
It'll support Gen 4.
All right. Yeah. Well, Destiny's going to look amazing on that.
Right? Destiny looks amazing now. I mean,
it's such a good looking game.
Yeah.
It really is. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I was writing my most beautiful games of the generation post after Tsushima, and I had to include Destiny. Mainly because of the environments, but
yeah,
it stood the test of time. So
yeah, it really does. Mm-hmm. That's just goes to show you
for including Destiny.
Surprisingly, no. I'd say 80% of my readers now are Destiny fans.
Yeah,
most people are okay with it, but I had God of War and Red Dead and Breath of the Wild, and just spent a lot of good looking
solid
games.
list. We've had some good looking games this generation, that's for sure.
Yeah,
but Destiny does stand up there. It just looks amazing. They do such a good job with colors.
Yep.
That new dungeon just is amazing looking. Their artists are spectacular. They've been spectacular since Destiny 1 came out and we first saw the Cosmodrome.
Yeah.
And that was the problem with the Halo comparisons, because it's just it's the same company that used to do Halo, and then it doesn't really compare based on the preview footage. But
yeah,
I don't know if I go down that rabbit hole again, but
I don't envy them, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
343, is that right? 343?
Yeah.
343 is the company that took over, yeah.
Speaking of which, you brought up the dungeon. There was the ride along that happened.
Oh,
So
right.
that was a thing that happened. That was Tuesday. They did a stream. It was about an hour long of all the people involved in creating the prophecy dungeon, going through how it was made. So that was really cool because they showed like the testing visuals. So you see just like this really basic background and them testing the animation of the Kel zipping away. So
cool.
it was really interesting. I love ride along so much. You get to hear about the inspiration, any difficulties of stuff. With this one especially, it was really cool to hear about how they turned the room around. It was cool. I love those. I want more.
I didn't get to watch it yet. I plan on watching it. Is it on YouTube or is it only on their Twitch channel?
They probably put it on there, didn't they?
I would assume they would have uploaded it.
I'm definitely going to watch that though.
Out of the corner of my eye while I was running the interference quest to check on the tree.
Did they do any like concept art?
Some. Yeah, well, not for like future stuff, but just for the dungeon. Yeah. At the beginning, Nicole goes, "There will be no news in the stream." I'm like, all right, thanks. So that's why I was only half watching, but there was some really cool stuff about how they talked about like design for like moat deposit and like all the different things they went through. And like it used to be like a dome, and then they're like, well, everyone thinks you're like protected in a dome, and that's not what this is doing. So like then they changed it to the pillar. It was all the little details are really interesting.
I can't wait to watch that.
It's really cool to hear about that because you think of game development and you don't let me think of the little things where it's like player readability, and that's such an important part of a game. Is a player being able to look at something and know what it does, have a general idea of what they're supposed to do based on precedents that you set before. So it's really cool to hear about all of that stuff.
Yeah.
It also showed they were good at what they do, because I think they were talking about how shooting the knights, like when you're standing in light or dark, and they were like estimating how long that would take people to figure out on their own. And like I think they got it like down to the minute, like in terms of watching like the world's first people actually, I think it was like 10-15 minutes or something for them to figure out how the mechanic worked. And then they're like, some people got to the end of the dungeon and didn't understand it at all, but for the most part,
that's funny.
People got it.
That'd be a fun room to be in, is the room where like Bungie, the creators of like Dungeons and Raids, are watching the live, like the kind of the race to finish it. Because like they know the answers.
More streams of that, like of them watching the.
That would be fun.
Really cool. I would love that.
Maybe like they could like release highlights of it the day after it gets made or something. Because it'd be fun to just see like their reaction, like our players doing what we expected them to do. Like, oh, I can't believe they can't figure out like like bird, bee, whatever, like the symbols,
Yeah, that was cool. I haven't watched it either yet. I'm gonna watch it sometime this weekend. Yeah.
When they announced it at Reset, I was like, all right, well, that definitely means nothing's happening at Reset, because they wouldn't like launch that and have some big in-game event at the same time.
True. Yeah.
And sure enough, nothing at Reset.
Yep.
And nothing next week except Iron Banner.
Iron Banner.
With no changes. Just Iron Banner.
No, just Iron
Same banner. Yeah, I actually had fun playing Iron Banner last time, so I'm gonna.
Last time was fun.
Yeah.
I'm hoping people jump in again. Sidearms.
I hope they have the quest again where you can at least get one guaranteed drop of each. I kind of doubt they will, but that was nice.
That was, yeah. Yeah, actually, I'm looking forward to it. Playing a bit, and then we got summer solstice event.
Solstice is coming up.
That's the week after, yeah.
Yeah, on the 11th, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when there's going to be really some stuff to jump in and do. Until then, we're kind of just hanging out.
Kind of waiting.
Yeah. People working on titles.
Yeah. Well, and also solstice is going to last for like a whole month now. Like into September.
Yes. Solstice is a month, and then Festival of the Lost is a month. And that's it, I think. I mean, there's going to be like interspersed quest stuff. And like, I don't know. Some stuff coming up sounds interesting, but
there's still an exotic left, right? An exotic sidearm.
Yeah, we've started that with the evacuation quests, and then I think the interference missions may evolve at some point eventually. There's like 5 or 6 more weeks of lore entries, so either it'll end or like it'll change into something else like at the very end. So we'll see. But
interesting.
Of all the places we could be to hear about a delay, like this season is kind of the best spot I can imagine them being in.
Supposed to worthy, yeah.
Like there's been seasons that were definitely not as well received as this one, and like the weapon meta seems fun this time around. Like there's kind of more variety than we've had in other seasons. It just seems like a good spot to be. I mean, it's not ideal that we have to wait till November for the Beyond Light, but like it could be worse. For sure.
Yeah, we could farm the dungeon. Like that's, what other season does a dungeon you can farm in it, really? I mean,
yeah.
And
now the raids.
We can now, exactly. I was going to say, now we can also farm the raids. So
I think they should extend Moments of Triumph, honestly. I don't see a reason to end it. I don't really get why they would, honestly. I almost would bet they'll announce an extension for it, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's good because now you can farm the raids for anyone who's missing weapons. You can go in there and like try and get those before the DLC comes out. So there's a couple of things you can work on for sure before we move on.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Yeah, it is nice. Yeah, well, we're kind of in the waiting period
China
now.
Seeds, eh?
Yeah, China seeds and waiting on Destiny stuff now.
Yeah, the TWAB is going to be bad when like Dylan has to write like the TWAB will be bad pre-post ahead of time, which I you can't blame him. It's just how it goes sometimes. But I think the biggest news was they're nerfing the Leviathan exotic farm, dogs, and they're fixing Festering Core. So when it comes back, it won't be very easy anymore. So that's cool. And and they did something with Stronghold. Like Stronghold was really good at using the orbs from Ruinous Effigy. I think you could like hold the orbs indefinitely or something. So they're patching that too.
Interesting.
Oh, really?
A lot of fun killers out there, but figured it was coming eventually.
Yeah, the exotic farm for the dogs. I'm kind of like, no, I didn't do the farm, so I can't say. I don't have like actual experience on it of how giving or forgiving it was. But it seems a little weird to nerf stuff like that in the middle of a technical content-ish drought while we're waiting,
Yeah, I mean, I can see it just because there is no other path that is remotely that efficient, and like you can't really have that alongside like Master Nightfalls and GM Nightfalls that are supposed to be the exotic farms.
Yeah,
not that I think those are good exotic farms or worth the time they take, but like that is the reward that we have now. So just putting them next to like an easy dogs run, I don't know. It's just another like too much loot kind of thing.
Do you feel like Grandmaster Nightfalls are efficient now for getting loot?
No. Does anyone think that? Honestly, I have not heard that from anyone, including the people who can like speed run them. I don't think they really know what to do with GM Nightfalls. It made a little sense for the title, but now there's not even everyone already has the title, so it's just people kind of doing it to say they did it and getting the achievement, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. I think there's running lower difficulty ones faster with less risk seems to be the way to farm materials if you really want to. Or I mean trials, you can farm a certain amount of materials if you're good at PvP.
Yeah.
So I think GM Nightfalls was just kind of like an experiment in difficulty. And like I could see them doing maybe GM hard mode raids someday, like based on maybe what they've learned from these. But as a reward path, I don't think it offers really. I mean, the rewards are good. It is not worth slogging for, however long each one takes. Like the corrupted, I'm still having nightmares about that. Like,
that sounds like a nightmare.
I didn't even GM. I did like the one below that, and it was horrific.
Yeah.
I never want to do that again.
That's how I feel about that strike too. When it's a Nightfall, I'm like,
even in the regular playlist when that comes up, I'm just like,
yeah,
because like it's such a well designed strike. Like it's amazing, and it was great when it came out and the way it came out. But now when it's like when you just want to like get through a strike and go really fast, it's like, okay, let's start this minimum 15-minute to half an hour thing.
It's an
instant 2-phase
skip.
boss. Yeah, it's exhausting.
Yeah, it kind of highlights the problem between having rewards be end of activity versus rewards be killing enemies. It's like in Diablo, you kill a bunch of enemies, you still have a chance of stuff dropping from those enemies that could be useful, but then also clearing greater rifts and all that will still give you rewards that you're going to want. So it's like it's an interesting problem that Destiny has had for a long time, and they still kind of struggle with like end game loot when it comes to that stuff.
The exotic drop rate is too low. Just in general in the world, it's always been too low. Like for the, especially now that we're going for random stat rolls, like it should be a lot higher than it is. And I do like the umbral thing where you can just turn in a bunch of umbrals and like 1 in 15 or 20 might get you an exotic. Like that's not a bad upgrade because that's better than what we have now. But wild exotic drops are hilariously bad.
Yeah,
I want that umbral system to be turned into a permanent system. Like I really like the umbral system.
Yeah,
oh, yeah,
if they can declutter it a bit, I am on board with that because I am constantly having to like dump my umbrals because we only have 10 slots for them and they show up so often, which is cool and I like focusing them. It's a little cumbersome.
A couple of weeks ago, we did all the raids like in a row, like starting with Leviathan and like doing them all in a row. It took us like 8.5 hours, and at the end of the stream, like I just went to my postmaster and I was just looking at all the engrams and like I was completely locked up. Like it was so hard to even manage the engrams to go turn them in.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
To lead a couple to make breathing room.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty intense.
No, the worst thing is when the worst thing about the umbral system right now is so petty, but like where it gives you a shader and then it like the shader will go to your postmaster.
Yeah, well.
And it's always some garbage shit. Like there was one good shader from that system. It was like the umbral shader, and then all the rest of the shaders are just trash that you have deleted 50 times already.
There's been an exclamation point above the postmaster for me, basically for the last 3 years.
Oh yeah,
like always there.
Dude, the shader stuff kills me, man. Like I really hope they fix that in the next update, the next big one. Just be like a surprise. Oh, hey, we got rid of all this, shader crap. Or maybe just don't let shaders go to the postmaster. Just auto dismantle them or something. Because the
That's
shader
gonna
system.
suck if you like are raiding though, and you get like the raid shader, right? And you
go
forgot to make room for it.
Go print it out.
They just got to go back to the old
that's
system.
true.
They just got to go back to not consumable shaders. Like it was a bad idea on like day 1 of Destiny 2. And I think they did it originally to try and sell, like it was going to be like an Eververse draw.
Yeah.
And then they quickly realized that no one was going to buy, spend significant money on shaders from Eververse or like run raids multiple times for like shader drops.
Yeah.
And then once collections came in, then you could just pull infinite shaders from collections. It became totally pointless. So like it's just kind of 3 years behind, and they just need to go back to the not consumable system.
Yeah, that or just give all the shaders a slot in your inventory.
Yeah,
because a lot of slots.
It is, but the fact that you have to manage 50 slots is so annoying because again, you get this thing where they keep on pushing them out in order to delete mass quantities.
It's
you
always
go over to Rahul, and
it's like a battle royale where like you cut.
Yeah.
Like, all right, who's going this time? Who haven't I used?
Yeah, pretty rough.
Well, yeah, it wasn't much in the TWAB, right?
It was kind of a slow news week,
Oh, definitely, yeah. Which we're gonna have a lot of this especially with the delay. We're gonna have a lot of slow weeks.
Mm-hmm. So what?
July.
It's still July.
Paul, what are you doing then in the meantime for Destiny downtime in your gaming?
Like in Destiny or in gaming?
Yeah, how about in Destiny first?
In Destiny, I've been doing the dungeon a bit more. I'm trying to get like full sets of all the prophecy armor. Now, like I hadn't really done the dungeon since I beat it the first time. I know I was like 1040 or something, and now I'm like 1070 something. So it's kind of cake now, and it's really fun. Like I very much enjoy just running it. So I've been doing that a little bit. I'm like crawling up to max power because like I'm not running like Garden every week for all the pinnacles and stuff. So I'm just doing like interference and like maybe a nightfall here and there.
Yeah.
And then just filming random stuff for YouTube now that I learned how to video capture like a true
nice
2020 creator here. But yeah, I mean there's not a ton. I think I'll be out of town for most of Iron Banner, so I would play that if I was around because Iron Banner was a lot of fun last time. Outside of that, I played Last of Us hard, and then I played Tsushima hard, and then I'm playing something right now that I can't talk about. but it will be something that most people are playing soon. That is somewhat related to Destiny.
Is it Bug Snacks?
It's Bug Snacks.
Bug Snacks.
Yes.
I need that Bug Snacks hookup, though. That's what I need.
Yeah, where do I get a early copy of Bug Snacks?
No, I just want like them to mail me Bug Snacks, like the actual snacks. That would be the greatest promotional thing ever. Like the PR package is just literal Bug Snacks that they send you.
That's true.
Like a picnic basket.
That would be good.
There you go.
Oh man.
And have that idea.
Yeah. Yeah, we're kind of in we're in like that waiting phase right now. Ghost of Tsushima was amazing to come out during the summer.
Yeah, good timing.
Yeah, great timing because
I was not expecting to be that invested in that game, but
it's a beautiful game. Yep.
I did get 12 pages of Twitter questions this week, so we could just jump right in.
Yeah,
let's do it.
We can give in-depth answers to all of them.
Ben asks, I have 2 questions for Paul Tassi.
Okay.
What was the hardest article he's ever had to write regarding Destiny? Also, did you guys have a good day?
Oh, just that one's for me too.
Yeah,
Paul, did you have a good day?
Yes, I had a good day. It was fun. The hardest one, if I have to get serious, is the community creator allegations article, which was deeply uncomfortable to write for a lot of reasons. And that was an article I had to spend a lot of time and care on, as opposed to writing, a guide to the best armor sets of Ghost of Tsushima or something. That was difficult to write, both in terms of like handling it with care and also just personally for obvious reasons. And with my former guest appearance on podcasts, that was hard, but I'm glad I wrote it, and I worked closely with my editors and stuff on it to make sure I got it right. And I don't have any regrets about it. I don't know. I hope everything's can get better in the community as a result of there was a bunch of articles that came out around that time like that. So yeah. That was hard.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
How about the rest of you guys? Did you have a good day?
It's pretty good. It's hot. But
Still good. Better than yesterday.
It's very hot. I'm hot right now.
Dakota says, can we please make Paul a permanent guest, or at least a very regular host on the show, considering he's not on any other podcast now? That's not true. I did see him on another podcast this week.
Sometime. Was that last week?
Was it last week? It was Fireteam Chat, right? You were over on Fireteam Chat with
Dustin calls me up sometimes, but I'm free whenever, so I'm home all the time and probably playing Destiny. So
I think that's true about everybody now. Everybody's home all the time.
Yeah, I'm available. Please, podcasts. Dear God,
yep.
Please, buddy.
Talk to me.
Keep in contact.
CD Johnson says, what's life like not having a pyramid ship to track in the bunker after every reset?
It's very sad. I really miss the dots and looking at the skybox to find nothing for like 8 weeks in the row, only to find something eventually and have that be an awesome moment. I still remember staring into the sun and seeing that little outline of the Almighty, and that's probably the most excited I've ever been in Destiny.
It's happening.
The tree's not quite as good. Maybe the tree will turn into something eventually, but for now, it's not a lot going on in the tree.
Maybe the tree will start burning.
Let's hope so.
Maybe Oompa Loompas show up.
Give us the 10
halfway through the season. And the Oompa Loompa song starts playing as they come out.
And they take the ball from the top of the tree and roll it away.
Yeah, and you're like, wait, what's the lesson I'm learning right now? I don't know.
Conrad Murray says, have you done your daily prayer to Luke Smith yet? Is this a meme? I don't know this one.
Except for me.
I have my Bible right here.
The Luke Smith Bible?
The
Bible of Callus.
The Bible of Smith?
What is that?
It's the Bible according to Callus.
That's awesome. I want one.
That's amazing.
Is it a real book, or is there like a bunch of cigars in there or something?
No, it was with the special edition of
all right, I gotta buy more special
Destiny
editions.
2?
I would assume so if it's Leviathan and Callus stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, that would make sense. Yeah.
Wait a minute, I have that?
Wait, you're saying I can make an altar to Luke Smith out of a thing that I already have in my house?
You don't read from the Bible of Callus every night before bed?
I never opened the box.
Well, why do you buy special editions if you don't even open the
box?
I
don't know. Is this what it means to be an American?
It's probably something to do with Briar guilt tripping everyone into buying stuff that he buys. Briar enjoys it though. After he gets it, and he's like, I don't know, just like the Xbox.
Callus preaches the word of conspicuous consumption.
Are there actual
and wine?
Is there actual words in there, or is it just like a?
No, it's like one of those.
It's a journal.
Like you hide stuff in there.
Oh, it is. So it is like a secret cigar box or something.
It does have a book in it.
That's where he hides his cocaine that he's selling.
The pamphlet of Callus.
It's like the wanted list of all the people that Callus wanted to kill during the Red War.
It's everybody. Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone.
Parth Gaming says, "Who do you think will be the Cosmodrome vendor when Beyond Light comes?"
I did not think about that.
Hawthorne. She's leaving the tower. She's had enough of saying, "Yo, you never quit, dude."
So you'd have to go to the Cosmodrome to get raid banners.
Have you talked to your raid lately?
How about pork chop?
Pork chop? That's Aldrin's ghost, right?
Yeah, it's just Aldrin's ghost, though.
Just the ghost.
Pulled pork, aka pork chop.
Parth had suggested Shiro.
I was going to say Shiro. Yeah,
he comes down from the mountain.
Yeah, we haven't seen him since then, right?
Yeah, I think that was the only time, right?
Mithrax, make him Mithrax, and he'll just like.
And he's like, "Hi, Guardians."
Yo, Mithrax.
So you have a fallen themed gear.
Yeah,
I like it.
I like that.
I'm going with that.
Jeff St. John says, seeing as resident lore expert Paul Tassi is on the show, where do y'all think the weekly quest is going in terms of lore? Do we think there will be a major climax to end the lore book, or will it just kind of stop and lead into Beyond Light?
Yes, I think there will be a climax. I think we're going through this cycle like every 3 weeks. I think Nokris showing up probably indicates that maybe we'll have some sort of Nokris standoff or something at some point. It would be kind of weird to just have him do voiceover and then nothing else. I don't quite know what form that'll take. And then if it'll turn into one of those like limited time, you must do this quest in the final 2 weeks or else miss it forever kind of things. It would be weird if it just stopped though.
In the form of a worm, which would be a bug snack. Bug Snack's best game of the year.
Bug Snacks crossover with Destiny. Gummy worm soul.
Love it.
Sir Whiffleout says, I just want to know why Bungie needs like 2 to 3 seasons to address PvP properly. Not only cheaters, but balancing in general. The last thing we heard was that they're looking into 110 hand cannons. Just why are they so apathetic in terms of PvP?
Well, cheaters is a much more complicated situation. It's not just like balancing a game is definitely much different to cheaters. You know, it's a constant like cop and robber chase. It's just constant. You know, you fix something, you find what someone's doing, they realize you found out, they make another thing, you do the thing, and it's just like a constant chase between developer and cheater. I mean, updating, I don't freaking know.
I mean, balancing is harder than everyone thinks it is too. Because like,
definitely,
you could be like, "Oh, well, these hand cannons suck." Like, buff them. It's like, "Whoops, you buffed them. Now they're the only good hand cannon." Like, it's a process. So I do agree that like some things just feel like they take too long. But then again, I don't know enough about game development to be like, this is longer than it definitely should take. And also, I don't know if we can say that.
Yeah, we have all of the stasis stuff coming as well. So I think it would be really difficult to do like a sandbox update and then have stasis be a thing. And then it's like, oh, we did that sandbox update and now stasis has made this thing completely broken and unbalanced. So I think if they're going to do anything, it would be after stasis is out. Because I'm sure there's going to be some interactions with weapons that maybe make them much stronger.
There's definitely going to be something in there that is completely overpowered and everybody's screaming for a nerf, right?
Well, doesn't like stasis like have to totally rebalance the whole game? Because like you would assume that things will have like stasis shields and stuff that need stasis weapons to break them, and that has to be in essentially every activity, or else you're just never going to use like stasis energy weapons. So that seems like a massive undertaking.
It is, yeah.
I'm also going to give a flip side kind of counterpoint to this discussion. I think maybe that Bungie's approaching it from the fact that they don't really need to rebalance stuff the way it is, because the main focus of the game isn't purely PvP. And I know if you approach Destiny with the idea that you only play for the PvP side, then that's going to sound like a awful answer. But I don't think the devs treat the game as a PvP game with a side of PvE. I think it's mostly a PvE game with a side of PvP, or a component that is a large PvP component, but not the main focus. It's like dessert. So if stuff is relatively balanced as is, even though your particular gun that you love is not performing better than the stuff you'd want, that doesn't warrant necessarily a complete sandbox rebalance over the fact that your hand cannon isn't working the way it should. You know,
I'm not really hearing like blood curdling shrieks from the community about balancing right now either.
Like, it's kind of okay. Like, I don't really think it's
like we don't have like a one-eyed map situation right now.
The biggest thing is mountaintop, 3 peeking, being able to hold a sword out. Those are kind of the big
mean, I vote mountaintop is removed from the game entirely, but that's just me. But
same. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
I would have no regrets about that.
When I play PvP for longer than an hour, then I start getting irate towards dying to mountaintop. Sucks. Yeah. I know it's annoying.
For PvP and PvE, it's way more trouble than it's worth for like every activity at every. And like I know it's getting sunset, and so that'll solve 30% of the problems, but not all of them.
Yeah.
Jordan Parker says, just watch the developer dungeon deep dive. What other content would you guys like to see the curtains pulled back on to see Bungie's creative processes?
Garden of Salvation. Would love to see a raid ride along.
That'd be awesome.
But I would love to see what goes into making a strike. Like just in general, how does the process begin with making a strike? What kind of, because like a strike is a very specific thing. You know, it's supposed to last a certain amount of time. It's supposed to work with blueberries, but also in teams for nightfalls and like higher level content. So it'd be really interesting to hear how strikes are made and balanced for all of those different things. It'd be interesting.
Yeah, that would be good. I really like when they do patrol zones. They've done those. They did a bunch of those for Destiny 1, and that's how we found out about that like explosion in the pipe zone where you fight the spider tank in the Cosmodrome. Like stuff like that, I find it interesting because it adds context to like a place that you visit all the time. Like you're constantly running through this area and not thinking much about it, and then all of a sudden, like to get some context about it is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Cat butt.
Yeah. I don't know if they've done. Maybe they've done this and I missed it, but like I'd like to see an exotic design start to finish, like conceptualized art design, like tested, like the whole. I mean, that'd be a long process, but that's something. I mean, it'd be probably a shorter video, but it'd be interesting.
That'd be cool.
Jay Cooper says, thank you guys for making me laugh every week. Also, what's your favorite ridiculous loadout? Mine's 3 grenade launchers and shouting, well, shit, Deej, after each kill.
That sounds fun.
Yeah. You got to say it with a different intonation every time you yell it.
I like it. Minus the whole grenade launcher thing.
Yeah. Mountaintop's obnoxious. It really is bad. But when you're using it and you snipe someone across the map with it, I am like cackling like a demon.
And Paul's leaving.
I'll forgive it. But I would say when I was grinding out shotgun kills for Fellwinters, I made a triple shotgun build that it was just PvE, but it was hilarious because you had all the mods that like fed you ammo for it. And I had like tractor cannon and like perfect paradox and mind benders or something, and like it was a lot of fun. I mean, it was kind of also terrible, but it was definitely a lot of fun.
Nice.
It makes when you do something like that where you make your loadout all about just one distance, like shotguns only, that it forces you to play in that way, and I think you can like learn from playing that way because you don't have like you don't have like your hand cannon that you always use to fall back on.
Mm-hmm.
You have to use the environment to get those shotgun kills, and I think it's an interesting way to play.
Or when I play Gambit, I invade with Anarchy and try to get kills with Anarchy.
Yeah,
I like it.
Pretty fun.
Dan says, now that the new DLC is coming in November during a busy month of releases, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Cyberpunk 2077, Destiny 2 DLC, and possibly new consoles, will Destiny be a rise and grind game like previous bigger expansions were? What's a rise and grind game? I'm not familiar with
Is
that.
that
term.
like Wake and Bake? I don't understand.
Oh,
Shake it
hell
back.
yeah. I'm in. I'm coming over, Dan. Let's do it. Rise and grind, baby.
I think like how D1 was, where like the reset was so important to see what drops you got from like raiding right away, and bumping your light level up and see if you got the new see if you got the exotic from the raid every time. Like I felt like that was more of a ritual in D1 than it was than it's felt in D2, even though elements have been there in D2.
When new DLCs come out, normally there's a raid race to be concerned about for people who are into that. And then I could see that rise and grind kind of making sense there, because it's literally like get up, eat breakfast, sit down, grind. It's like long as you can to try and like power up light level hard enough to get into that raid at a higher power level. But now with contest rules, which hopefully will be in action this time around, hopefully that won't be as big a deal, but we'll see.
Yeah. I don't know if I should make this prediction on video, but I am convinced that Cyberpunk might get delayed again.
Me too.
I wouldn't be surprised. Plus,
because
the 2020 stank maybe needs to get away from it. Don't stankify.
Don't
Cyberpunk.
put your name in the history books.
Yeah.
Deliver this with the vaccine. Like the day the vaccine is released, they
Everyone
also
gets a copy.
they bestow upon the world Cyberpunk 2077.
Paul,
everybody's
if
finally
that
cured, but
moves,
still
I don't
nobody
think
goes
Destiny
outside.
will have a huge problem, honestly. Because I mean, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, whatever. Halo is interesting because those are similar in at least a lot of ways, obviously for obvious reasons. But we have to assume that Xbox is coming out in November with Halo. I still think Halo should be delayed, also, but that seems less likely than Cyberpunk.
it looked like it, didn't it?
And Halo could launch and be awful, and then that won't really be competition for Destiny until it's fixed. So we'll see.
I guess what's your game plan going into November? Because obviously you want to cover as many games as possible.
I will prioritize Beyond Light over pretty much everything, except if like the new consoles come out that day. And even then I'll probably write about like, here's how Destiny looks on the new consoles. Because I literally am writing a daily Destiny column, even when there's nothing happening in the game. So once Beyond Light is there, I'll probably be doing a couple articles a day. Cyberpunk is a big focus just because I'm so excited for that.
Yeah.
And I mean, Assassin's Creed seems like it might be something that's going to get tossed to December if I had just enough time for it. But yeah, the big question mark is the consoles, because if PS5 and Series X come out in that like 3-week span of November, at the very least, that means like Spider-Man Miles Morales, got to play that, and then Halo.
Godfall
And,
also.
Yeah.
Godfall's
And Godfall. Yeah, I'm
It's in
curious
storm.
about how that's going to go. But
Two things. Have you considered interns and or cloning yourself?
Cloning seems like the way to go.
Right?
that's a good, I could do one of those.
Briar, you have kids
Cloning
that can
seems
take
more
over.
viable. Yeah.
They don't listen to me. Assassin's Creed Valhalla is like Ghost of Tsushima put that thing like way on the back burner for me, because Ghost of Tsushima is essentially an Assassin's Creed game, for all intents and purposes. So playing another open world Assassin's Creed game this year, that's definitely getting pushed to 2021 to me. Assassin's Creed, and I'm interested
Especially
in
with
that.
a map. Ugh.
Yeah,
Kind of archaic nonsense is this?
I'm not super excited to give Ubisoft a bunch of money right now either. Like,
the director of the game like resigned from misconduct, like literally that game.
Yeah, that's rough.
Ooh.
Like, I hate things like that. Well, I mean, obviously it's horrible, but like I hate the moral problem that's shown there, because the director is clearly bad, but there's also like hundreds, if not
1,000 people.
yeah, if not 1,000 people that put like blood, sweat, and tears into that game, and like you don't want to support bad behavior, but at the same time, there was so many people who worked on that. It's tough.
I've only got one way to voice my opinion about the whole situation, though, and that's with money. It's like only vote I've got.
Totally, yeah.
Yep.
It's going to be hard though. Like, if imagine a world where Cyberpunk 2077 and Beyond Light come out on the same day. That's going to be a rough day.
They're not coming out on the same day.
No, they're not. Yeah.
It's like 10. Cyberpunk's like what? 10 days later, I thought.
10 days later. Okay.
It's like 5 or 7.
So
you got
theoretically, we'll do the raid race and then Cyberpunk will come out.
Yeah.
I still think it'll be delayed. We'll see.
Yeah, maybe.
I still think it'll be delayed. Yeah.
I would not be
I'm
surprised.
thinking on it.
I would not be surprised.
I don't see a reason why not to, honestly, at this point. But
Dumbest System says, question for all: what's your absolute favorite and least favorite piece of Destiny content? Can be across 1 and 2, both 1 and 2.
Least favorite is easy. Least favorite is Reckoning, specifically Bridge of Folly in Reckoning.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's
nothing
mine
else is
too.
close. Nothing else is close at all.
Yeah, Reckoning's just not very fun.
Reckoning is a turd.
It's
The
not.
Forgotten City.
Favorite's a little harder.
Forgotten City
Prophecy.
for me is probably my favorite. Like, that was just such a cool place to explore. Is it called the Forgotten City? Lost City? Forgotten City?
Dreaming City?
Dreaming City. Thank you.
Forgotten City. I was like, have I not found the Forgotten City?
Forgot the name of it.
How appropriate. How appropriate. Forgotten City.
What have I been missing?
Flying into there the first time and like exploring it, because like you immediately start to figure out that there's secrets there, and it looks completely different than anything else that we've seen in Destiny. And it had, for the first time, there were just like people hanging around that you could go talk to. You know, the well I ended up not liking that much, but it was in there, and like it was a cool thing at first. There's just so much to it. There's new public events. It was just like, it was so new for Destiny that it was really fun.
It was great.
It was great. That's a tough thing to answer. Like, there's so many good things in Destiny.
House of Wolves, Trials of Osiris was my favorite activity.
That's a good pick.
That is good.
Specifically that.
Yeah.
That was, I'm surprised that didn't get aped by more games. Trials of Osiris.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't know if I am. It's pretty
so
Destiny specific.
Call of Duty did it last year.
Did they? Do you like?
Yeah,
literal...
they kind of aped it. It was like I think it was either 2-on-2 or 3-on-3, and it was kind of round based. It was kind of the same thing. It was close to the same thing.
Oh, like gunfights or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was called, to be honest.
I think for me, when unlocking the Fellwinter's Tower, like something about that DLC, the Iron Lords, and the fact that it was winter themed. I really like winter themed games. So going to the Plague Lands, you know, snow and all that, like that was just. I'm having a tough time picking a specific activity, but I think like unlocking Fellwinter's Tower was really cool. Or Peak, sorry.
Sith Assassin says, who else is glad we now have more time to get through everything this season, especially since we all have been samurai these last few weeks?
I do need to farm raids. I do. So I'm kind of happy that I'm going to have some time to do that. Don't feel rushed. Especially with Solstice coming out, because I'm sure that's going to be a grind, because it has been in the past. It's been a big grind. Yeah,
I'm okay for now. I think, again, it's like the beginning of August, and we have to wait till November. So it's, I think we're going to be a bit stir. Like at the end of most seasons, I think like the final month is usually kind of a drag. Yeah. And now we added 2 months to that. So that's going to be a little rough, I think. But I'm excited now that like, you know, if Avengers turns out to be good, like in September, like that's something I could play then, or there'll be other fall releases, I guess, that can kind of fill fill the gaps when Destiny's low.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Everything's Fine says, if you had to pick just one weapon to tell people to grind for before sunsetting, whether exotic, pinnacle, ritual, or legendary, what would it be?
Before sunsetting.
A lot of people have been coming in chat asking what they should do before this stuff happens. I've always been saying do as many exotics as you can possibly, because the exotics are going to be light level. We'll be able to go to the light level that you have, and like I don't know how they're going to get reintroduced if they are going away with these certain areas. So I'd say my general answer is get as many of those as possible. Like Anarchy is incredible. Like,
it's got to be Anarchy because you can.
Yeah.
This is the only time you can like repeat farm it. That's what I did. I didn't have Anarchy, and I farmed it like 20 times in a row, and I got it because of the drop rate changes.
Nice.
And now I realize how truly absurd it is. That is probably one. I mean, that's a little harder because you have to like find a group for that. That's not something you can just kind of meander and do on your own. But yeah, that's not getting Sunset. That is still one of the most relevant exotics in the game. I'd say stuff. The problem is we don't know where stuff like that's going. So like,
exactly. Right.
Who knows if like Whisper or Anarchy is going to show up? You could buy it with an exotic cipher or something. Like that would be kind of lame, and I hope they don't do that. But the new way to get it might actually be easier than the old way to get it, for all we know. So it's a little bit confusing.
Yeah, I'll also say that I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal to be ultra prepared in terms of switching over to the new season. Like if you're trying to go for Worlds first, yeah, you want to be as prepared as possible, have as many resources on hand. But for just switching over from, if you're a new player, like the game is very forgiving for onboarding people who are interested in getting geared up and having relevant weapons. So I'm really not worried about that. I think there's gonna be some great legendaries that get introduced with Beyond Light.
I think a lot of the stuff the Umbrals are giving now is very relevant and very easy to get. Like Gnawing Hunger is like one of the best guns in the game right now, and there are pretty much no bad rolls on Gnawing Hunger. You just get 5, and you know those will all be fine. Falling Guillotine, Lonesome, the new Pulse Rifle. I like the bow. I don't know. There's a lot.
You bring up a good point. The guillotine, you probably want to get a few guillotines or whatever the best one possible. Between that and the Gnawing Hunger, you're like set for some really good legendaries.
That's 2 slots. That's all you need for
right.
There you go.
Then whatever your primary needs.
K Brash says, which Cosmodrome will we get? Pre-Siva with snow or with no snow?
Didn't they say when it was first
introduced?
I think it's going to be pre-Siva, right?
Yeah,
I thought we're not getting the Plague Lands, but I thought it might be the snow one because when they brought in the Cosmodrome for that mission, it was the snow one.
Oh,
the Thunderlord.
Yeah.
So I think it might be the snow one.
Interesting. The first mission is in the game right now. Is there snow there?
No.
Really?
No, isn't there? Is there? I don't think so.
I thought it was the snow. I thought it was the same version from Thunderlord. Huh. Maybe I'm remembering that wrong.
The answer is we don't know, I think.
There. Well, my general question about the Cosmodrome and all these returning planets is like I still don't really understand how they're coming back in the larger context of the game. Like, is this like a total flashback to Destiny 1? And like when the strikes come back, they're all going to be identical, like the voice lines, like the formatting, and we're like just reliving memories or whatever? Or like, is this a part of the story now? And like something relevant is happening in the Cosmodrome, and like the Cosmodrome we go to is like present day Cosmodrome. That's something I don't really understand.
I hope it's present day. I
hope it is too. It'd be kind of weird if it wasn't, but
yeah.
Omnigul's twin sister.
Yeah, it's like, oh no, it's Romnagul.
Romnagul, crap.
That would be hilarious.
He also asked, with VOD coming back, do you want the guns to be the same or new perks?
Man, this is a tough one.
It is a tough one because they have to live up to a lot, but being unique, is also not terrible to have.
They gotta be good. Otherwise, it's gonna be like, good. Why did you do this?
Yeah.
I'd say new perks, but good perks. I don't like special perks. Kind of split the difference. I mean, I don't think they can be identical. It's the same question. It's like, when things come back, is it going to be like identical Vault of Glass in every way? Like, I don't think it can be. So
It better not be.
That
I'll be
includes
really
the
mad
loot.
if it is, to be honest with you.
I mean, if you could do like the Mythic class and have that be like pretty close to identicals on exotic, but
if they bring those VOG weapons back, they're going to be the best weapons in the game. Just like they were in Destiny 1.
probably. I wouldn't put all your money on that, but that should be the goal, maybe.
I mean, if they bring them back the way that, like with the exact perks, like the way they functioned when we first got them in Destiny 1, they're going to be. They were so good.
Will they over everything we have today? Well, maybe, yeah. I guess it depends.
Wayne says, what role are you hoping Aldrin Sov will play in the next expansion? Surely it's time to advance his storyline. Do you want to keep hating him, or are you hoping for a redemption moment?
Personally, I want a redemption.
Me too.
That's more interesting.
It is a lot more interesting.
I'm still sad we didn't get the season of friendship between Saint and Aldrin, because that was such a perfect setup after Dawn.
Yeah.
And then we just got nothing. Because I don't know. I mean, I think with the whole amnesia thing, it's time for redemption. I am a little skeptical that he will play a major role in Beyond Light. I feel like we have too many characters involved already. Like we have the Drifter, we have Eris, we have the Stranger, we have the Darkness as the antagonist, we have Aramis, and we probably have Mara. Maybe I would be curious to see if Aldrin actually fits in the Beyond Light season, and he might be saved for further down the road.
Mm-hmm.
It's already been a long time, but
yeah, it is weird. It just feels like they just dropped him.
And it's such an interesting storyline too. I am so excited to finally find out what's going on with him.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there'll be lore in an Eververse ship for Solstice of Heroes that lets us know what he's doing now.
He's working with Fenchurch. He's like understudying. Or...
That's literally how we got the last update to his story. It was lore from the whatever ship it was.
Devin Tyus says, what do you guys think they're going to do with the free-to-play portion of the game, since all the content is being vaulted and the parts that aren't coming back to Game Pass in September?
They got to add at least Forsaken, I'd say, to the free part. Maybe Shadowkeep 2, maybe not, but definitely it's time to add Forsaken at the very least, I think.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right on that. I could see them doing that, and I mean, it's going to evolve. Like the New Light version of the game is definitely going to evolve as the game vaults stuff and brings stuff out of the vault, right? In fact, wasn't the Cosmodrome a part of New Light?
Yeah, you do the first mission of Destiny 1.
Destinations. Yeah. Oh, you mean that part? I was going to say like all destinations are technically part of New Light. But...
No, yeah, I mean them unvaulting the Cosmodrome, and what that's bringing is going to be part of the New Light player's experience.
That's I'm not sure about like the strikes and stuff. I mean, I know they can go to the Cosmodrome, but since we don't exactly know what the Cosmodrome will entail,
I know that they made it so all strikes and PvP maps are part of New Light players.
I didn't even know that. Okay, well then
Game
I guess
Pass
so.
is getting all the big expansions, right, as part of Game Pass. So they'll have Forsaken and Shadowkeep and Beyond Light.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean that's going to have to evolve as time goes by as well for them to maintain a healthy free-to-play base.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. I mean, that's how my kid got into it. He just decided to log in because it was free, and now he's completely hooked on it. Captain Clutch 92 says, besides a little mechanical friend that we referred to as a ghost, what other type of companion would you like to have inside of Destiny instead of ghosts? No ideas too crazy. For example, I'd really like the hawk that Hawthorne has.
That'd be cool.
Lewis? I want freaking robot fish, man.
Yeah, robot fish is dope.
Stranger.
I want the space tiger from like the art of Destiny 1, like the pre-art of Destiny 1.
The giant frog that you can ride around.
That's,
a vehicle.
Rideable frog, like Yoshi, but in Destiny.
A literal frog.
If I slap it in the back of the head, it uses its tongue as an attack.
Oh my god!
After Tsushima, I kind of want a fox, but
one
that goes away and opens chests for me and like brings me stuff back.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Yeah. Especially now that you got to walk over Glimmer to pick it up.
Ugh.
Oh yeah, right.
Just go pick that up for me. I'm busy.
Yeah, a whole collection
I
of
miss
like
out on
spirit
so
animals.
much glimmer. I miss out on so much because I have to be so damn close to the stupid glimmer.
Yeah.
It's annoying.
Omega 2222 says, lore experts, with fallen civil war on the horizon, who rises to rule them all? Who surrenders? Who gets killed in the ways of old? Varix, the not so loyal, Schwarzenegger, Aramis, DeVille, the Braveheart, Mithrax. Also, which leader does DCP side with? I like
mean,
Mithrax a lot.
I do. Yeah, I was gonna say I really like Mithrax.
Mithrax hooked it up.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess it's Mithrax versus Aramis, and then we don't really know the deal with shit. What's his name again?
Varix.
Varix. Yes, we
Wild
know
card
he's
Varix.
like a part of. He's a part of this somehow, but we don't know if he's like helping her, or if he's a prisoner over there, or what's going on. I mean, you got to root for Mithrax, but I also kind of feel for Aramis because like the Traveler kind of screwed over the Fallen, and now the Darkness is like, hey, have some powers, and they're like, okay, and then we're just gonna come kill them all. So it's kind of sad.
True.
Life is hard.
We're gonna take those powers.
McRich says, should I be keeping all the armor I want to transmog in my vault, or as long as I've earned it once, should it be enough even if it's dismantled?
Good question. I'd love to know the answer.
I wrote an article about that today, and I am writing a different article tomorrow listing all the sets you could definitely delete, which is pretty much anything from year one, because that's stuff you can still pull out of collections. So anything from that era, like you can test it in collections, but like, or just look at the list I'm about to write. That still leaves, like, I think it's something like 27 different sets that are being sunset, including most of the raid armor, most of the Iron Banner armor, last year's Solstice armor. So the problem is we don't know, and I'm not sure Bungie knows either, like with how the system's going to work. I have kind of just made the leap where I just literally ran out of vault space to the point where I'm like, I got to kill some of this. Like, I just have to. So it's maybe a little risky, and you might have to re-earn some stuff, but I would be very surprised if they like did something where sets you literally cannot even get again, like, but they're in your collections, like they don't allow you to transmog that. I think they would understand how bad that would be.
Yeah, I hope so.
Def Size says, what do you think about stripping down some of the pinnacle perks and dropping them onto guns for random rolls? Example, Master of Arms to take out of the damage buff and only make it match crit damage on body hits. So I thought he was talking about taking the Master of Arms perk and making it part of the random roll pool, but he's actually talking about changing the Master of Arms perk itself.
Yeah, making it so it's not as lethal, but then putting it in the pool of
the random roll part.
Yeah. I don't know. That's a tough one because it's so much sandbox adjustments that you don't know what's going to get broken on what gun from that type of stuff.
Yeah, it's a little probably a little complicated.
Yeah, like
what
I feel like it'd be easier if they just made up a new perk that did what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
That way there'd be less confusion about it.
Yeah, I think what I want is them to add cool new perks into the sandbox, like all the time. Because I want to go chase cool new rolls.
I can see how they like riff on some of them. Like I like a perk like Desperado that does something with fire rate or something, or, things we don't really see that often now. I think it would be a lot harder than just like transplanting perks and then nerfing them a little bit. But
yeah.
Nate91 says, to me, GM Nightfalls don't seem worth the trouble for the rewards you get. Would it make it more appealing to be able to grind for a specific exotic that you wanted? Say, pick up a bounty so you could target farm the drop you wanted. Sincerely, a warlock with trash transversive steps.
I mean, any change to GMs would probably be great.
Yeah.
Because they're not rewarding enough at the moment.
So a bounty that you could pick up to farm a specific exotic. I don't know. Maybe if it was one that you already had and you just wanted to farm a roll on it, I could see that being pretty good. Would that be enough of an incentive for you guys to do GMs?
Me personally, maybe not, but that in 10 seconds of thinking about it, that's actually sounds like a pretty good idea, honestly.
Yeah, I always like targeted loot grinds, and if it's going to be a ball buster like the GMs, then it needs to be worth it. So exotic loot is technically worth it when you get a good roll.
Yeah, if I get something with a 48 roll, I'm gonna be pretty mad about
it.
Right?
Be like, I could have printed this out.
Eggplant Volcano says, well, shit, Deej. With so much of the game, areas, strikes, raids go into the vault, how big do you think Beyond Light will be? Enough to fill what's being taken away?
Have they said how big it's going to be?
No. I mean, we know it's 2 zones, but one of them's an old zone, and it doesn't seem like the Cosmodrome is launching with that much stuff. I think it's only 1 or 2 strikes at the beginning. So it's definitely not going to replace everything that's lost. I think they're losing. No. I wrote a list of this at some point, but I think they're cutting like 7 strikes. I don't think there's any way we get 7 strikes with an expansion.
Yeah.
And how many raids are we losing? Like it.
Yeah, a lot.
It's physically impossible.
I don't think it has to be a 1-to-1 though, because like getting new stuff is more valuable than holding on to old stuff to me. Yeah, I'm going to do new stuff way more often than I'm going to redo stuff that's been in the game for 2.5 years. So, like, it doesn't have to be 1-to-1, but I would like it to be significant.
It'll be bigger than Shadowkeep for sure. It could be bigger than Forsaken, maybe. I'm not going to rule out some other like secret third area that's like inside a pyramid ship or whatever. Like,
yeah,
it seems like it's going to be pretty big.
Yeah. True.
Madeline Bell says, what changes do you legit think will be made to Vault of Glass to make it a true Destiny 2 raid? Do you think Bungie would enhance the original mechanics to incorporate D2 elements, or would the change be more drastic to set it apart from D1?
I feel like it's going to be pretty similar. I don't think they're going to want to change it a ton, because then at what point does it then turn into not VOG?
Mm-hmm.
I think them wanting to bring back old raids is more so about, hey, we made this really cool content in D1 that's actually like a lot to create, and we want more people to play it, and we want to bring it forward into a relevant game.
I think all the Praetorians are going to be Overload champions.
Ho ho!
Yeah.
No, whoa.
That'd
be fun,
like,
though.
Right?
Your divinity.
Seems like that would be pretty likely that they're going to incorporate champions into it. I'm sure like the enemy composition is going to change up a bit. I don't think the bosses and the actual mechanics are going to get shifted, because those mechanics are cool. Like the relic is fun with the Templar.
Yeah, it was very fun.
Yeah.
Very, very fun.
Cleansing, like blocking. That was fun.
Mm-hmm. Now we can do it with the ball too.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Madeline Bell says, that's the question I just asked. Carlton says, if your main could wear the armor of any other class, which class would you pick? Geez, I already wear a cape. It's kind of hard to change off of that.
I'm already wearing the best thing.
I do not want to not look like a hunter.
Yeah.
No.
Flat no. I mean, I'm supposed to say hunter, but I should probably say Titan just to be different. Titans have gotten some good sets lately.
Wait, are you saying
they also have like the joke armor in the game from early on, but these days they've got some pretty solid sets.
They didn't start strong in Destiny 2, but they've gotten a lot better.
Once they figured out the shoulders a little bit, it got a lot better.
Eater of Worlds, big old tummy, the dad bod.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
So Paul, you're saying as a Warlock main, you're going to go with a Titan armor set?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a complicated question, because once you just put on Titan armor, you're essentially a Titan. But it's yeah, I'd say so.
Friendly Awesome Dude Man says, we often get exotic quests which tell a story about weapons in Destiny 2, such as Last Word, Fourth Horseman, etc. But which exotic armor piece would you like to see a quest for? Either ones we already have or future exotics.
Ruin Wings, because it's tied into the silver tree. And that would be a really cool way to bring that back.
That would be so cool.
That's interesting. Yeah, that's super interesting. I like that.
But they made him for a hunter instead.
Yeah.
It'll be like the Aeon exotic,
Aeon
where it's
Swift.
for every class.
Yeah.
But
Ruined
perfect.
wings for every class.
Exactly.
Let's do it again.
Mhm.
I'm ready.
How about the bones of Io?
I mean,
But for
Any
a
of the
warlock,
Ahamkara ones, really.
for a warlock though, so you have 3 floofs.
3 flutes.
Get you a lot of places.
None of which make you go up, so you're still gonna fall to your death just as often. Jacob says Solstice is right around the corner, and for the events we have in Destiny 2 Solstice, Guardian games, etc., what is your favorite activity within those free events and your favorite to grind?
What did they do last year? It was like the EAZ zone.
the EAZ
I really
was
like the
awesome.
EAZ. I thought that was great, honestly.
I thought it was great
might
too.
be that
The
one.
new area, which was amazing. Like, when do
Yeah.
we get a new area for stuff like that?
Yeah.
I'm
It
assuming
is coming back, right? Is that confirmed?
I don't think it's been confirmed, but I'm like kind of assuming that we're getting the EAZ again, and I'm assuming it's going to be the same, maybe with a little bit of adjustments, which I'll be fine
Whatever.
with because that was
Yeah.
fun. Yeah.
I like the race to open the chest at the end. That was my favorite part of the whole
Mhm.
thing.
That was cool.
Doughboy says, the more I think about it, if Destiny 3 was to be set earlier in the Destiny timeline, it would give a reason for the vault to be wiped and Cade 6 could be brought back. Any other benefits? You can't bring Cade 6 back, Doughboy. I'm sorry.
Please
I
don't.
know you love him. We all loved him. But you can't bring him back.
Gonna change the entire timeline of Destiny 3 just to bring Cade back. That's the most elaborate plan I've heard yet. But
If you bring Cade back, no death in Destiny will ever mean anything again.
Yeah.
honestly, this is gonna be very controversial, but because of how awesome the Drifter has become, I don't really even miss Cade that much these days. I think it's the Drifter's kind of replaced him as the most.
How do we
colorful
hang up on
character.
somebody on Discord? Is there like a button?
No, I completely agree. The Drifter brought some questionable modes in the game, but he's a badass character.
He is a badass guy.
He's like calling Eris Moondust. Like, I love it. He's like, okay, Moondust, calm down.
I really like Cade. I think I was partial to Cade because I really like the actor that played him too.
Definitely helps. Yeah.
Badar Amazayad says, "What's your favorite mod loadout currently? And should exotics have more mod slots?"
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes, they definitely should. You should be able to use exotics for against the super bad guys, the overload guys, and those guys, the champions.
Champions.
That
You
bums
should be
me
able
out
to
so
use them
much.
against
Super
champions.
bad guys. Yes.
The real bad mean ones that get angry.
Like, you get Outbreak Prime, you can't use any mods for stuff.
That at least you can do unstoppable.
Or Perfecto. Yeah,
With the
Unstoppable,
whole
right?
thing this season.
Exactly.
I mean, if they can do more stuff like that, that'll help. But
Yeah, it kind of kills it. A lot of times you're like, well, I'm not using this exotic unless it came baked in with one of those.
well, the problem is armor too, because armor doesn't have any seasonal slots. So
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, I know, because
it's very annoying.
it's when you're trying to run. So if you were trying to run, say, Warmind cells and charge with light, you are so limited on slots. And if you're using an exotic, you're even more limited. So it actually, you end up not using an exotic, so you can run some cool builds. So yeah, we need to have more slots on armor for sure.
We do, yeah. Also makes it more interesting, more dimensional.
Yeah, absolutely.
My favorite mod build is the sidearm surprise attack one that just doubles your sidearm damage. It's amazing. I've been using that one.
Yeah, that's good.
Clickfire says, you go to work for Tess and realize she is secretly running a Ponzi scheme. You can either A, expose her and have the worst RNG for the rest of Destiny, B, help her cover it up and have unlimited free access to all Eververse items, or C, frame Briar and join Tess's team. What the fuck?
Yeah, we're
Clickfire?
definitely framing Briar.
Yeah, that's
Frame
most
Briar
obvious, I mean.
and then barbecue him. Done.
Yeah, obviously. Why would I think anything else?
I'm gonna expose her because I already have the worst RNG in Destiny. So joke's on her.
Yeah, I think the real answer would be expose her because RNG is just a mindset. You can meditate that away. All right.
Adrian 2 says, question for everyone. Does being critical / making content for Destiny 2 ever ruin your enjoyment of it? Do you ever think when you're not streaming / recording or writing, in Paul's case, that you're wasting potential content?
I'm a really bad content creator. I just really like games and just kind of play video games.
Terrible.
Great for being a gamer, real bad for making content. People are like, what'd you think about the thing? And it's like, cool. It's cool and awesome. Which people don't really care about hearing that, unfortunately.
I mean,
I like thinking critically about stuff.
I solved my problem by I write a daily column. So like everything in Destiny is content. Like I don't really have any dead time. And like I don't think it hasn't ruined my enjoyment of it. I mean, if anything, I've only gotten more into Destiny in time. So I got so into it, I started a Destiny YouTube channel now because I have even more stuff to talk about like than I originally thought. So for some games it can, like if it can be a little exhausting if you're playing something you're just not super into, like just for the content, but that doesn't happen too often, and I'll just probably drop something before I put myself through that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So most of the time it doesn't affect me. I'm usually like, I'm here to chill and play games, and I built my stream around that for the most part, like just enjoying the games. The only time it has really put a damper on things is when I'm enjoying a game that there's like a hate culture that suddenly decided to get around it, and then chat becomes like caustic, you know, like you're constantly having to deal with like you're gonna have to cleanse chat all the time of like random ass people coming in and having to insert their opinion about why you should be hating the thing that you're streaming at the moment. Like
that's the worst.
That unfortunately, I haven't found a solution for that aside from just not stream the game.
Of that? I've actually never run into that.
Oh, Anthem was one of those.
Anthem.
Huh.
Anthem for me big time.
With Anthem.
I'm not surprised, but
I had a lot of people like. There was a lot of people that would come in the stream and be like, would say, I'm shilling because I'm playing this, and it's such an awful game, so why would you even consider streaming it? So clearly I must be a shill. So you're an asshole.
Not a shill.
Yeah, not a shill, and you're an asshole for even thinking that, you know? And it basically variations of that, of like people feeling that you can't possibly enjoy a game or stream. Like I think I remember Crafty lost his interest in playing Star Wars Battlefront 2 because of how much hate he was getting in the chat.
Yeah, and he was loving that game.
Yeah,
he was absolutely loving that. And it like chat killed it for him, unfortunately, because there was a bunch of random ass angry gamers coming in, ruining his enjoyment for that.
Yeah, the internet was really mad about that game.
Mm-hmm.
That extends beyond games too, though. Like I remember God, I don't want to go on this whole, but like the Last Jedi, like I came out of that like really liking it, and then like there was the discourse around that for 2 years, just like destroyed that movie for me indefinitely, no matter what I originally thought of it. Like it was exhausting to even just listen to people talk about it, and I'll never get that back now.
Yeah.
Destiny has had those periods for probably a lot of streamers and people who make YouTube videos where it's just like everyone's complaining. So when you load up the stream, it's just constant complaints. And what do you think about how bad this thing is? Don't you think it's so bad? Isn't it bad? Why did Bungie suck? Why are Bungie the worst ever? And it gets to a point where you're like, you know what? I don't want to stream Destiny. I don't want to talk about it. I want to do it because I don't want to deal with all of the negativity. It is a complete killjoy. So there's a couple things that have happened with games like that. It really does kill the mood, and it's just not fun.
Yeah. For the most part, I'm able to just ignore people being assholes because I already know that there's going to be a set of people who are going to be assholes about stuff. So I get that. But when there's like when there's like a trending level of assholeness that's happening, like it's trending on Twitter, and therefore it's definitely going to be brought up all the time in chat. Like that can actually kill some enjoyment of the process.
Year one of Destiny 2 was a little bit like that. Your chat would just always be filled up with people complaining about the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most unexpected. I don't let other people's opinions really like Anthem. I liked Anthem. I know it's an unpopular opinion. I liked the game. I enjoyed playing the game. I got sick of it real quick, but when I was into it, I was enjoying it. Even though like every review on the internet told me about how bad it was, and I read all the reviews, you know, and I agreed with most of their points. Like they made good points. There definitely were deficiencies to the game, but I was having a good time playing it anyway.
I got yelled at for giving it a 7.25 because that was one of the highest scores.
Really?
People were like, "How dare you?"
Who yelled at you? Your mother? Paul?
Paul, I have some choice words to share with you.
She's watching this right now, and she'll be mad about that impression of her. My mom watches all my Destiny podcasts. She doesn't understand anything. But...
Sorry, Mom.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Tassi.
Most unexpected says, if you give a thrall a cookie, it will always ask for milk. If you give it milk, it will always ask for fill in the blank. Where does this lead and when does it stop? Where do you draw the line? This is like having kids. Most unexpected. You just stop. Just walk away.
Wait, why are we giving milk to thrall? I don't understand.
Yeah, what's
That's
the whole
milk.
reason? What's the
Save the
lore?
thrall.
What's the lore significance behind this?
I don't know.
I feel like it ends in a throne world. I don't know.
Okay.
It
I
ends
think you
in
just
being
have a
very
pet thrall.
frozen due to explosive thrall diarrhea because they're lactose intolerant. There you go.
Wow. That's
Wait,
got
is that how?
Figured
What
out.
if cursed thrall is a thrall drinking Vex milk and then it explodes?
Yeah.
You can see the Vex milk in its head.
They're lactose
Yeah.
I
intolerant.
wouldn't want a pet cursed thrall. That's for sure. That'd be dangerous.
It's living on the edge.
Fun at parties, but
That's like owning. That's like being Joe Exotic and owning some tigers and stuff.
stuff.
So,
I feel like Drifter is the Joe Exotic of Destiny.
Yeah.
This like not
Yes.
taken.
With the freaking sack of like, prime evils.
Yeah, exactly. Someone Photoshop that. Thank you.
Yeah. Spez says, "G'day. When Rasputin gets put into an exoshell, she'll do what you think he'll do, but able to use Siva as his super abilities." This is a tough one, guys. I'm going to try and get through it, but this is... When Rasputin gets put into an exoshell, do you think he'll be able to use Siva as his super abilities since he isn't a guardian?
barbecue Briar. Next question.
I mean,
I like
Rasputin.
I like
Yes.
Briar's agreeing face there. It's like, yeah, even I'm down to barbecue Briar to go to the next question here.
Doesn't Rasputin have Rasputin powers?
Rasputin
Interplanetary
has power
network
of Russia.
powers. Russian planetary hacking everything powers.
He'll just be the Cosmodrome. He's just the whole Cosmodrome.
Yeah.
If you went into an exoshell, I'm sure he could communicate with all his like satellites and stuff. I'm sure there's Wi-Fi, right?
Yeah.
It's definitely
The
5G.
They have like
darkness hacked
5G,
the
definitely.
Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
That's what call it Siva. Little known fact.
Yeah.
5G.
Rasputin's
There you
out
go.
there selling 5G.
And
causing
5G
SIBA.
wires. He's trying to put those 5G wires in the face mask to
Mhm.
control us. That's what the internet tells me.
Dr. Eric Deibler says, how about exotic gauntlets that have Firefly on a charged melee kill?
That sounds hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, I'd wear those.
I want that.
Exploding melee deaths? That'd be
Yeah.
great.
Can you even like crit on a charged melee?
Let's
Now you
say
can.
it's like Sunshot, where you don't even need it. Just explodes no matter what.
I'm in, Doc.
Imagine
That's the Titan exotic. It blows up when you use your charge melee.
Titans have exotics too.
Wait, that's the thing? Wait, Titan?
I hope none of you know this.
Wait. Which exotic is this?
They changed Severance Enclosure to be it doesn't just
Wait,
blow
what
up
is
on
that?
Yeah, I'm gonna be real with you, Paul.
guys are killing me.
Never heard of that exotic in my life.
Did not know an exotic named Severance Enclosure existed.
Okay, do you know Assassin's Cowl? That
Yes,
one?
I do know that one.
Okay, in the same release, there were exotics for other classes.
Really?
One of which is Severance Enclosure.
No kidding. What did it originally
And it got buffed. It got buffed like Assassin's Cowl to now, instead of going in Viz on charge melee finisher, you blow up in an AoE on charge melee finisher. So it exists already.
We'll take that, Doc. Are you even a real doctor? I'm gonna have to see that diploma.
This is like Paul's doing a class on how to speak to hunters. He's like, "You remember Assassin's Cow? Yeah. I know that.
Trying to relate it to something you might have heard of.
The CK, aka DV, says, would love to hear your thoughts from each of you regarding the balance of streaming, VOD uploads, edited videos, social media posting for streaming in 2020. Curious about those ratios in the current viewer climate. Keep up the great work on DCP and in your personal channels.
Well, technically, you're supposed to do all of that.
No joke. Like, there's no easy answer for this, but literally, if you want to maximize your potential, you got to do it all. And yes, at the end of the day, it turns into a multi-person job. And so that's why a lot of people can't do all of it.
That's why people have editors.
Mm-hmm.
I tweet a lot. That's what I do.
Yeah. So I think that's the other thing is if you can't actually focus on all of them to that degree, you should narrow it down to the platforms that you are either A, the most comfortable with, or B, seeing the most growth out of.
Or the ones that you enjoy the most.
That's what I'm saying. Like either you enjoy it. Yeah, you either enjoy it, so you want to do it, and you'll keep on doing it, or you're seeing a lot of growth out of something that you may not necessarily like the platform, but you're seeing a bunch of growth. So you might as well get growth out of it. Because when it comes to streaming, it's very difficult to just grow straight up on Twitch. It's a numbers game that is not for you on Twitch. So getting exposure or growth outside of Twitch is always going to help you on Twitch. It's really weird.
But then, oddly, I don't find that the Twitch audience tends to follow people to other platforms that much. Maybe Twitter they do.
YouTube definitely does more. I think like if you're on YouTube and you're like, follow me, here's my Twitter, my Instagram, people tend to follow up more with that. But it does seem to happen less on Twitch. I've even heard that from companies where they're like, we see way more click-throughs on YouTube as compared to being on Twitch.
Yeah.
So it's interesting.
So I think that part of that has to do with like YouTube culture is it's huge. Like there's tons of people on YouTube. So there's all these like subdivisions, but also it's a information consuming type of narrative in YouTube. Whereas Twitch is highly sticky because people like to just have it on and chill. It's like they're hanging out, and you're less likely to be like, yeah, let's go down the street and go do this thing that sounds like work right now. When you're hanging out, you're like, no, I'm gonna stay here. I'm good. So.
Most viewers are lurkers. People love to just have it on in the background while they're doing something, or they'll be playing the same game as you, so they're kind of hanging out and seeing what's. I do that all the time.
That's 99% of me watching Twitch.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
Like when I pipe up, it'll be for like 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was watching Watts' birthday stream. Was that yesterday or the day before, Watts?
It was on Tuesday.
Yeah. And I was in the chat for 4 hours, maybe. I don't know exactly how long, but I probably only spoke in the chat for about 10 minutes to say happy birthday.
Yeah.
That's pretty much how I am on Twitch. I just like lurk 99% of the time.
Same.
Slaystat says, with the stasis subclass that will be able on November, how much time do you think we can preserve Briar?
You broke Briar.
I gotta start reading these questions more thoroughly.
Briar.exe has failed. Time to reboot the machine.
What was that, Briar? Can you finish the end of that? What was that?
How much time do you think we can preserve Briar's meat?
Just after the barbecue.
Yeah.
Leftovers.
Cured barbecue Briar.
You could jerky. Barbecue Briar jerky. That stays for a while.
How do you feel about that, Briar?
I'm not loving it.
That way we can travel with you. It's like a on the road snack.
I don't know if you know this whole eating briar thing, it makes me very uncomfortable.
Really?
Yeah. I don't
So
think that's going to
strange.
stop you from doing it, but maybe it will. I don't know. Red Elephant 247 says, when watching the Stasis gameplay last week, did anyone else's thoughts go directly to Arnold Schwarzenegger's character, Mr. Freeze in Batman? No, but now it will. Jay Sherritt says, my wife as a military spouse excuse me. My wife as a military spouse is like a swan, full of grace and elegance above water, while discreetly making the whole family community operate by powering through life's obstacles underwater. Who in your circle of influence is similarly swan-like?
Like a mermaid?
This dude just scored major brownie points with his wife. I hope she is listening to this podcast.
Watching.
Is his wife a mermaid? I just got mermaid from that. So who do I know who's a mermaid?
Like a swan.
Well,
a swan.
Like a goose?
Hard-working swan.
Huh.
Who's a swan?
Me. I'm the swan.
Paul's a swan.
Yep.
Clearly.
Full of grace on the top, swimming like a mother on the bottom.
Yes, exactly. Me to a T.
That is all the gamers in November.
Gaming with Efresh says, Watts, I told Pope to give you a full show about anime, and he said, working on it. Question, what is your all-time favorite series and why? Everybody can answer.
Everyone's watched anime, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
At least one show. Can you name a show? Can you name a show?
What was that movie that came out?
Is The Last Airbender going to count or no?
Why not?
Okay. Also, One Punch Man. I watched that. It was good.
There you go. See?
What was the one with Alvin, the guy in the suit of armor, and like the Magic Brothers?
Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Yeah, I watched that. I liked it.
See? Briar knows what's up. Briar's a weeb.
I saw I actually enjoyed Alita. What was it? Alita Battle Angel Warrior?
Battle Angel?
Or whatever, you know.
The movie?
I know it wasn't anime because it was the movie version, but it was based on
the
anime.
new one. The movie. You gonna count that once?
DuckTales. I love DuckTales.
Darkwing Duck.
Yeah, oh yeah. Darkwing Duck. Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers.
Chip. I love Chip. I do love Chip.
The Gummy Bears. Remember Gummy Bears?
That's
Adventures?
anime.
The Smurfs.
Gummy Bears bouncing here and there and everywhere. High adventure that's beyond compare. We are the Gummy Bears.
What?
How do we do, Watts?
You don't know anime?
Yeah, that was good. I'm going to seriously recommend anything that probably not as many people have watched as they should. It would be A Place Further Than the Universe. It is phenomenal. Watch it. It's also short. Watch it.
Well, I like short.
I like short.
Short. Yeah, you can get a whole experience in like.
Is it on
13
Netflix?
Episodes. Don't think so. I think it's only on Crunchyroll.
It's on Crunchyroll.
See, this is my problem. I have to sign up for a whole nother service.
We have a whole land of weebs with 20 million free trials for Crunchyroll. Let us know.
Yeah, Crunchyroll's always giving out free trials.
Free trials all day.
Okay.
Everywhere.
All right.
Mm-hmm. You can watch Violet Evergarden on Netflix, though. That'll make you cry. You want to cry? You should go cry.
No.
It's great.
No, I've been doing a lot of that
cry.
lately. I'm kind of done with it.
But like a good cry? A great cry.
Duo Shade says, when the last iPod lines in a landfill, will podcasts become phone casts?
I feel like some words have just evolved beyond their original meaning, so it'll probably live indefinitely.
Yep.
Like the save icon is still a hard disk.
Exactly, right?
Things just, Although I saw someone talking about how like kids, instead of doing the phone gesture now, they're doing like this.
Do they really?
I don't know. Can't tell if that was true or not.
If I ever have a child and they do that, I'm kicking them out.
Slapping them.
Slapping
that silly gesture out of them. What are you doing?
At one point, there was a push to rename podcasts netcasts because people were afraid that Apple, who owns the word iPod, would start suing people for using the word podcast. But I think that that
does
threat
sound
is
like
over.
something Apple would do.
Yeah, but I mean, it's been so long that I don't think they're gonna do it. So I think that netcast kind of thing died.
Sounds like a fishing term.
Do they still sell iPods? Is there like an actual iPod that they still sell?
Don't they still sell the iPod
I
Touch?
think so.
Do they? Yeah.
I think they do. It's really cheap.
Yeah, it's interesting how that became the device before phones could play music. Like even if it wasn't an iPod, it'd be like, it's an iPod, right?
Do you remember Motorola made a phone that was like the Razor with iTunes? It was the first phone that could play iTunes.
Huh.
It didn't last long, and it was just like a plain ass Motorola phone. And then, Motorola, where'd they go? Ubet Giraffe Can says, when you play Mario Kart, who's your go-to character pick?
Yoshi.
I was gonna say Yoshi. Yoshi's awesome.
We're all picking Yoshi.
I was definitely gonna say Yoshi too.
Wario.
Who doesn't
Can
want
jump
to
higher?
Unless Waluigi is in this one, then I'll pick Waluigi. But it's gonna be Wario or Waluigi.
Maybe Toad sometimes.
Juan23 says, how often are you supposed to wash your jeans? Is the freezer method an option? What's the freezer method?
treat the bacteria like sushi or something.
That was like a viral thing going around.
Deep
Put
freezing
your
your
jeans in the freezer.
Does that
It freezes the smells or something. I don't know. I feel like no person has ever actually done that, but I don't know. I'll say a week.
Wait, people wash their jeans?
I mean, it depends on the season too. Like, I feel like I can wear jeans longer in the winter than I can in the summer.
I've been wearing shorts for like 5 months, so I don't know.
That's a good point. I don't wear jeans in the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, ever since COVID-19, I haven't put on a pair of pants.
Sure, definitely not jeans. That's for sure. Jesus.
God, no.
No.
Ghost of New York says, Lord Saki lands in the tower, recently resurrected by his ghost. He does not know what Vanguard class to join. As a stock boy/girl for Tess, you have no powers or social standing, but you have insight. Which class do you encourage him to join?
Hunter?
Titans or Hunters?
I mean,
obviously.
it's
Hunter.
probably got to be Hunter, right? I mean,
Has
You
he's got so
throw a
many
smoke,
capes.
throw a smoke and go invisible?
It's literally
Yeah.
called smoke
It is.
bomb.
Done. He already knows how to play with knives.
Come on.
Yeah, very nice.
Zachary Richardson says, hello, everyone. If you had to choose to give up one of these things for the rest of your life, which one would you choose, a kiss or a hug?
Like all kisses and all hugs?
I think so, yeah.
It's a lot of different kisses. Let's just say you can give up one kiss. I'll give up the cheek kiss. All right. Let's go.
That's a cop out. Okay.
Well, you probably hug more people than you kiss, right? Because you can hug your friends.
Hey, more
Yeah.
I don't do any of these things to anybody anymore.
True.
Hugs are now illegal, so
Yeah.
maybe hugs. Yeah.
This is post pandemic.
No more handshakes, no more hugs.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
give a
Bow respectfully at a distance.
Yeah. The pandemic chose for us already. No more hugs.
You can kiss anybody you want, though. You gotta wear a mask.
Yeah, it's sanity.
Can end up sued.
Elusive Pineapple says, have you ever put milk duds in popcorn? It's a ritual in my house on movie nights, but I've never seen it done. Anyone else do this? Is this weird? Yes, this is weird.
Do you melt it?
No, this is just bizarre,
You just put
Elusive
them in
Pineapple. Like,
You're
you have
so-
surrounded
it
yourself
so
with
like-
highly
I've heard of
questionable
that. I've
individuals.
never done it.
Really? How does it work? Do you just put it in a bowl and then it's like popcorn and milk duds? So when you dig in, you got
Yeah.
both in your hand.
It's like trail mix.
sounds like-
with
That
two
sounds
things.
pretty good, actually. Not
No,
gonna
it
lie.
sounds awful. Like you're sitting there like munching on popcorn, and all of a sudden you pull a filling out with a milk dud.
Milk duds.
Maybe not the best chocolate choice to go in there.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, I do like M&Ms or something.
Yeah, milk duds are not a surprise candy. You want to know you're going in with the milk dud.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm.
If you said raisinets here, I'd be down. But
Yeah.
milk dud? No.
Yeah, they're low
Yeah,
effort.
maybe my milk duds.
Milk dud, you're going to be
Milk
working
duds
on it.
are
You know?
They're not candy. That's an assault weapon.
Also, they would fall down to the bottom of the bucket from the weight. You know, you shake it a little bit, and suddenly it's just all milk duds on the bottom of your popcorn bowl.
Well, then you'd be prepared.
Buttery milk duds.
Yeah.
Buttery milk duds. That sounds good.
Buttery, salty balls of chocolate. Mohegan Nines. Mohegan Nine says, you just bought a boat. How big is it, and what do you name it? I'm on a boat, and it's going fast, and I'm going to buy a ski boat. A water ski. That'd be fun.
Yacht?
I don't think I'd dig yacht life that much.
What if you want to quarantine? Like you're rich
No,
enough.
it'd be good. Play games on it.
You could have a gaming yacht.
A gaming yacht.
What if you had a cruise boat? Cruise ship.
Like a Norwegian cruise liner.
Cruise.
That's a lot to clean.
I'm just going to live there.
How much is
gas? Do I get a staff?
Yeah,
every time you gas it up, it's going to cost you $130,000.
I ain't paying for it.
This is a fantasy. You're already rich.
All right.
It's already,
aircraft
effortless.
Carrier.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah.
What are you naming
Does it have
it?
the plane?
The USS Tassi.
It's the SS Barbecue Briar, like over.
Oh.
Yeah.
The USS Balls Deep.
Yes.
I don't know if the government would approve that, but maybe.
It's my fantasy.
That's not there.
It's my aircraft carrier. It's my fantasy. I'm in international waters. I get to do whatever the hell I want.
I'm going to call it, well, shit, Deej.
Well, shit, Deej.
That's a big boat. Yes, it is.
Rezer says, what's the best fast food chicken sandwich?
I'm not one to asking this.
I don't know.
I don't want to say Chick-fil-A, but it's probably Chick-fil-A.
The one you make at home. That's fast.
I don't make things at home.
Is like a grinder shop an acceptable answer?
It's what?
Yeah, what?
Like sorry.
Listen, Briar's
Subway?
always talking about his misters and his grinders. Don't worry about it. It's a thing we accept.
That's northeast for a Subway sandwich. Grinder.
Well, ship Deej. That's a great one.
Oh,
there it is.
Perfect.
That's the winner.
Ship, that was
That's
from
the
Baku
one.
Hatsu.
All right, we're
That's
moving past
amazing.
the most bigoted of sandwiches.
Yes.
Hugo Rune 79 says, emergency question. Lionel Richie's lady was only 3 times a lady. How many times a lady is your partner? Or if you're a lady, how many times a lady are you?
I'm a swan.
No, I'm a swan.
Swan. I don't even. What does that mean? How many? You're gonna need an interpretation.
How many?
5
Like
times a swan.
Yes.
Swan equals 8.3 ladies. So you can do that math.
Is this like a weight measurement?
I hope
Like
not.
stones? How many stone? If it is, I choose not to answer for fear of my life. And also, I don't want to make Paul Tassi's mom mad.
3 times a lady. It's a compliment, right? Like you're so awesome that you're got to be multiple ladies.
I assume he wasn't being literal in the song, but
You're so much lady, you're like 3 ladies.
Yeah.
It's like,
Are you calling my
I don't know
wife
that
fat, Hugo?
Does it
like,
mean you're really
what?
scary? I don't get it.
first off, what the hell was Lionel Richie talking about?
I don't know. There are a lot of
probably
jokes going around
he
back
doesn't
then.
know.
What does 3 times a
LSD
lady
trip?
mean?
Eric Wagoner says, what wouldn't you do for a Klondike bar?
I wouldn't eat Briar. Take that. Do that math.
A little double negative. A little would not. would not.
I would not.
I got nothing. I don't like Klondike bars.
Colin Byrne says, you're allowed to pick one power to have from any video game of your choice. However, the cost is never being able to eat Briar. What power do you choose, and is it worth the cost?
Nope. Not answer.
No hesitation.
Briar's doing this to trick us. Don't let him trick you.
Yeah,
choose titanium skin. How do you think of
Take
that?
this trick question.
Break up your teeth.
Colossus.
What guys, after you're done doing the big business, do you sit up straight or lean forward to wipe? Okay. After the answer, hit them with the knowledge that if they lean forward, they're technically standing, then shame them. How dare you, Lux? How dare
There's a
you?
secret part of that question. You weren't supposed to read. It's almost a gotcha.
Trick question.
It depends on the business, man. The business.
We know Briar routinely goes outside, so I wouldn't put anything past him.
Not the big business.
Not the main event.
No. That's the number one only. Last question of the night. Jewel Com says, hypothetically, if the DCP crew is going to eat Briar, what is the best way Briar's ghost would haunt the rest of the crew that betrayed him? Also, Briar, as a ghost, you get to hang with the legends of the past. You isn't going to heaven, and there's a party in hell with Jimi Hendrix. Oh, goddamn, you're awfully judgy.
You isn't going to heaven. I'll tell you where you're not going, Brian.
Party in hell with Jimi Hendrix, though, sounds good.
I'm just picturing Briar as like a Destiny ghost now, just like voicing a ghost, like following me around, refusing to
He'll just
resurrect
randomly
me.
go, you'll be taking a shower.
Well,
randomly.
shit, dude, you died again?
You'll be taking a shower. You're just chilling, you're relaxing, having a good time, and Briar comes up and goes, Wu-Tang! Dear God.
Dumps a 5-gallon bucket of cold water. All right, that was all the questions.
This is just to give Briar ideas.
Yeah.
Don't give Briar ideas.
You know what I did last night? I stole this joke from Reddit, but I drew a frowny face on the milk carton and then told everybody in the house that the milk went bad.
Solid.
I thought it was funny. I laughed a lot.
Would it be sad milk?
Every time
not bad
somebody
milk?
came, it was a mean face.
What? Yeah, I was like, wouldn't you have to make it
Eyebrows.
look angry or?
You got to make like a grimace or
Maybe-
something. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm not that good
Like
an
a devil
artist.
face?
You're not talking to Ash over here. This is very stick figure-y.
Oh man.
My kids just laugh at me. They don't laugh with me.
Hey, they're still laughing.
I can't believe you married my mother. What was she thinking?
At least they're laughing, right? Well,
Yeah. Well, yes, they're laughing.
that is episode 199 of DCP. If you think we have something special planned for episode 200, we don't yet. So sometime between now and next week, we might, but we don't know because technically,
Feel free
officially,
to give
we
us your
haven't.
ideas for free.
I think
what
should
you
blow
might
up
want.
the Death Star.
Death Star?
Episode 200, the one where we blow up the Death Star.
I'd be up for that. That sounds fun.
Yeah. That'd be pretty spectacular, right?
Yeah.
Let's
I
get
think-
Pope involved. See if we can make that
The
happen.
logistics on that.
We might be able to.
What do you say?
Yeah, we could just be like 2020 and just delay episode 200. We'll
That's
just
a good
skip
idea.
201.
Just
Yeah.
do 200 in April 2021.
201 next week, and we'll wait
Yeah.
to do 200.
Yeah. And not say anything about it. That'd be amazing. All right. Well, thank you very much for watching. We really appreciate it, or listening. Paul, where can people find you?
At Paul Tassi on Twitter. Google me. I don't know. Stuff will come up.
Do you have a schedule of when you post articles? Like, is it usually around a certain time, or is it just as they come out?
I will usually have 5 articles up before noon Eastern.
Oh, nice.
So publishing stuff in the afternoon, nobody reads. So it's all in the morning.
And if people wanted to find those articles, where would they go?
They're on Forbes. That's where I write. I don't know the exact URL, but just Google me. It's the first thing. So
Yeah,
Paul
there you
Tassi.
Forbes, Paul Tassi.
Yes.
Look up whatever question you have about
There's only
Destiny,
one.
and then follow the first link to Paul Tassi.
I do that all the time where I'm like Googling something. I'm like, oh, it's my article.
Yeah.
I just forgot what I'm asking myself. Yes.
That's great. Watts?
I am Miss 5000 Watts. You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. Just look for Miss 5000 Watts.
I'm Briar Rabbit. You can find me take a correspondence course for massage therapy. I think that I'm really going to focus on the happy ending part of it. I think that's going to be a growth industry, and I can't wait to get started.
Can't wait for you to help people get some release out of their life.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Wonderful during these dark times.
These dark times. Briar's getting a real grip on things. And I am Tefty Teft. You can talk to me at Teft on Twitter and catch my streams twitch.tv/Tefty Teft. I finished up Ghost of Tsushima. It was amazing. Looking forward to playing some Destiny. I do have to do that Dream Daddy stream with the pink beard at some point.
Yes. Yeah, how about we just cancel DCP 200? That'll be the stream. And we'll all just go hang out and
what about the Death Star? Come on,
we'll probably do that in Dream Daddy.
We need to blow up the Death Star.
You can blow up something in Dream Daddy.
All right. Thank you very much for watching, guys. We really appreciate it. Shout out to our Patreon members for supporting the show, and also our Twitch subs for supporting the show as well. You guys are awesome. And yeah, we'll see you next week for another episode or side quest. This Monday is going to be full of Ghost of Tsushima spoilers.
Yes.
Yeah. So watch out if you're not done yet. It's going to be spoiler ridden. But yeah, we'll see you next week. Thanks for hanging, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.